Welcome to Arcade Audio.
Ladies and germs, welcome to Dilettante Ball. I'm Johnny.
I'm Spencer.
Here on Dilettante Ball, we go on Wikipedia.
We click random article.
We talk about it.
Yeah, we do. Johnny, we were just on an episode of Welcome to Haddonfield. Did we ever talk about that?
No.
If you are a Patreon supporter of ours, and if you're not, you can go to arcade. What is it? Patreon.com.
There's no way to know.
Patreon.com/arcadeaudio. Our network buddy Nick Lathan from Riverside Falls. He's been doing a weekly podcast on the Halloween movie franchise. As he gears up for the new one that's coming out here pretty soon, and we were just on an episode of
we watched Halloween, the Rob Zombie version.
Yeah, the reboot. Yeah, which was troubling.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to get into it here because we already did it somewhere else.
Yeah. But if you want, it was very, very fun to do the podcast.
Yes, it was very fun to do the podcast.
And if you want to check out that series, if you're interested in Halloween or the Halloween franchise, or just hearing us talk about whatever comes to our mind, if you don't get enough of that on a weekly basis, then head on over to Patreon and check out that series.
This is the last time we'll record before I'm 30.
I thought you were going to say, which would also be true, the last time before you go to Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, that's true too.
So this is a pretty momentous time in the podcast life here.
It'll also be my first time attending Halloween Horror Nights as a 30-year-old.
It's going to be crazy when
and my last time attending as a 30-year-old.
That is true, isn't it? It's going to be crazy when next episode your voice is going to be so much deeper and resonant.
I'm very much looking forward to my voice finally getting deeper. I've been waiting all this time for it to change.
And it's a shame that I'm 29 now. I'll be 30 in about a month and a half. And my voice is going to get higher, which,
Well, we have to have the same average pitch.
Exactly. So just be ready for that.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
You know me. Maybe I was born to run.
Okay.
There's two modes to getting the article. There's the pensive mode and then the ecstatic mode.
So I'll tell you right now that this is some sort of animal, and we'll get there.
Okay.
But I think that it's one of those animals that someone just discovered probably pretty recently. This is all based on the title.
The title.
And it's we're gonna give this a cutesy name.
Okay.
Like how there's that spider that's Uranus Stephen Colbertus or whatever,
Sure. Like the lice there's a lice that's Gary Larsani.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So this animal is called Nanahughmilleria.
Are you sure it's not like a command? Nanahughmilleria.
It's a genus of Eurypterid, an extinct group of aquatic arthropods. Fossils of Nanahughmilleria have been discovered in deposits of Devonian and Silurian age in the United States, Norway, Russia, England, and Scotland, and have been referred to several different species. It looks... Oh. Wait. Fuck.
What?
It's the same... It's not exactly the same, but it's in the same family as this guy.
Oh, the little fellow on your...
Yeah, I have a tattoo of a critter in the same family. There's a picture of
a bug, basically,
of one of these guys.
Okay, yeah, some sort of a crayfish or something.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That's fun.
And the scientist named it after his Nana.
Yeah.
Nana Hug.
First discoveries 1859.
It's not very recent, is it?
No. Why does it have the silly name?
Well, I guess people still had nanas back then.
I guess, but were they fun? Were people fun and funny then?
Were people found flirty back in the pre-Civil War days? No, as I guess is my answer.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a goofy name. Maybe there's some other...
Can you even imagine someone having fun back then? I mean, they must have. Like, court jesters were a thing. Well, I assume they were a thing. I've heard about court jesters. And those would have been like...
What if they're not real, right? There's no way that that's a real thing.
Yeah, probably not. That's why, like, as I was saying it, I was like, that's such a stupid thing. That can't be right. I mean, but silly things have been around. You know.
Masks.
Masks are, well, so silly. Yeah, I'm thinking of, what's that? Commedia dell'arte, like that, you know.
Masks.
Masks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Masques. Maybe funny stopped happening, though. I don't know. Mark Twain was supposed to be funny, I guess.
Yeah. So I have an update on the name. I believe that it's not cutesy, but it is so called because it is a itty bitty version of a critter in the Nanahughmilleria family. So it's the Nana itty bitty
Hug.
It also might be Hugh, I guess, because there's an H in there.
Like Huhg?
Hugh.
Yeah, I'd say it's Hugh. So this thing isn't very fun at all, is it?
No.
So how did we discover it, though? Like,
we just found... Look at... I mean, this is the fossil that they found.
Is it
it's just
big?
like nothing. It's nothing.
Oh, it's not. It's a rock.
I got a rock. Yeah, they found nothing.
How were people discovering shit like this back then?
And knowing... I don't know.
This is an ancient, from the Devonian. Like,
imagine all the stuff that people found
and
then.
threw away.
Yeah, they were like, what is this? Fuck this. This is trash.
Yeah, and it was like the only thing we had of the thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. God, yeah, that'll drive you up the wall.
Yeah, that sucks. And what are we doing now? That it's the same thing, like.
Oh yeah, there could be a million things that we're doing right now that we don't even like. It might not even be like negligent, It might just be like the way that because we invented microwaves, it deteriorated the what I mean, like like maybe 1,000 years in the future we discover some sort of like how we use carbon dating to figure shit out.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some weird thing where we can go back through the airwaves of time. You know what I mean? Like
but microwaves like fucks it up.
We can never
Or maybe it's as simple as like, oh yeah, we use formaldehyde to like preserve animal specimens, but then come to find out it preserves the animals but makes the bacteria on them super strong, and you open that jar and then you just get mummy cursed. Speaking of mummies, I was talking to someone yesterday, because as part of my birthday we did a private ghost tour, which ruled.
It was very good.
And we were talking about spooky things, and we were talking about mummies and how they're sort of in the same milieu as ghosts and vampires and Frankenstein's monsters.
Definitely.
But mummies are real. And none of those other things are.
Well, no, because if mummies are real, therefore, the rest are real. That's how that works. That's how science works. I think it has to open the door up for those to be real.
I guess that is more likely than
not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would he have come up with those guys?
It's just funny that like all of those other things are based very firmly in like works of fiction.
Right.
And then mummies are just real dudes.
Well, so like from our point of view, those all are because of like the universal monsters.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like what was the impetus of creating those back then, I wonder?
Well, mummies were big because they were just finding them.
Yeah. Like King Tut had just happened, basically. Right. But then you had like vampires. Like when was Bram Stoker doing his thing? Was it around the same time, maybe? A little earlier?
I don't know. Probably earlier. Definitely earlier.
But like vampires had been around in like Eastern European, culture or whatever.
Vampires have been around in folklore forever.
Right. And werewolves, I imagine, as well.
Sure.
The only one that
Frankenstein's monsters, I guess, are the ones that's like
pretty new.
Yeah.
But there's one even, I think that's, at least Frankenstein was like a thing. Where did the creature from the Black Lagoon, where did that come from? I don't know if you would call that, necessarily. I mean, he is a universal monster, but he's not one of the like big.
I mean,
he's not the Frank Sinatra or the Dean Martin or the Sammy Davis Jr. of the Universal Pictures.
At the Monsters Cafe in Universal Studios Orlando, he's one of 3 monsters rotating on the top of the establishment. So
the creature.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are rooms in the restaurant that are themed to all the different movies, and there's a Creature from the Black Lagoon room.
Okay. Creature from the Black Lagoon. So you know what I mean? Like, where did that come from? Is there like a myth that we're unaware of that, you know?
Like a bog man?
Yeah, like a bog man, yeah. I mean, Swamp Thing is the same thing, but maybe Swamp Thing was, you know, from the creature.
Are they related, or was that like a sort of Munsters Addams Family thing?
No, Swamp Thing is way, way later.
Okay.
Yeah, Swamp Thing was like 60s, 70s.
Oh, okay. Well,
something like that. Like maybe even 80s.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but I will now.
Okay.
The Munsters and the Addams Family premiered within a month of each other, and they both aired their final episodes within a month of each other.
Yeah, that's really weird. Like, what was it about, like, America at the time that just made it? They knew exactly when it should end, you know?
These are the spooky monster people. And, like, the shows are very different.
Yeah.
But sort of the broad premise is the same.
Right. A spooky family.
Yes.
Trying to live among normal people.
Yeah.
And the normal people are the weird ones.
Mm-hmm. The Addams Family was also based on a New Yorker cartoon.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
That's the craziest.
I don't even understand what that comic could have been.
No.
What I do like about the Munsters is they had a fun twist where they had like a cousin,
Marilyn,
just a normal looking young woman,
and they were like, oh, it's so sad, her condition.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I guess also the Addams Family is like, they're all people, just like spooky.
Yeah, you're right. They're all creepy people. They're not
except
monsters.
for like Cousin It is maybe a monster adjacent.
Yeah.
And
Lurch is possibly a Frankenstein monster.
And Thing is a hand of a person.
Right. But he's like a pet.
Yes. But the Munsters are all monsters.
Right. Yeah. Like Eddie's a werewolf. Papa Frankenstein, Herman
is a Frankenstein's monster.
His wife is Frankenstein's
the bride of Frankenstein. Yeah. Or the bride of Frankenstein's monster. The monster bride of Frankenstein's monster. Grandpa is a vampire.
Of course.
It's interesting. How do you think Eddie contracted lycanthropy if both of his parents are Frankenstein monsters?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of questions you have to ask. Like, how did Eddie happen?
Wow.
Maybe Eddie's adopted.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
That makes the most clear-cut sense, you know?
And their pet was like a big monster that lived under the stairs.
Yeah, in my head it was a dragon.
Fire, yeah.
Yeah.
Were those the only family members, just the four of them?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the Addams family had a lot more people hanging around, right? Wasn't there like a creepy witch grandma or something?
Yeah, and then there was Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester, yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
How could you forget?
Yeah, I really don't know.
That's such a good name, too.
Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
Were there other weird shows like that just
didn't stick?
Well,
the thing is, those two shows only ran for like 2 years.
Right, yeah. Yeah, why are they still around at all?
I mean, the Munsters sort of mostly isn't.
Yeah, no, you're right.
They tried to reboot it like 4 years ago.
Wow.
They did like a made-for-TV movie, and then if it did well, they were going to pick it up.
Yeah, and then just didn't work out.
It was fun. And it was called, you know what it was called?
No.
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like
exactly what you should have called it. But there's a bunch of other shows from back then that we don't care about, but like we still know about.
What if there was like
Petticoat Junction?
I was going to say, what if there was like the Beverly Hillbillies and then like, you know,
Beverly Hillbillies Meet the Munsters?
No, just like a similar show, like
like basically that show, but now?
No. I mean, like how the Munsters and the Addams Family were at the same time. It's like,
I see.
Well, this Appalachian family found gold and moved to New York City.
Sure. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, like, were there things like something with such a specific premise? Like that happens with movies constantly, like Armageddon and Deep Impact or whatever.
Serve and Protect and Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Sure, there you go.
Did they come up with the name Beverly Hillbillies before the premise of the show?
That's a big yes. Yeah. How many shows do you think get made because someone comes up with a premise, or not the title first? Yeah.
Most probably. Right.
Well, not most. Like like Matt Groening wasn't sitting around going, The Simpsons. That'll be funny. You know, but I bet there's any of the more clever titles. Most of those probably.
Of course, I can't think of any right now.
No, I really can't either, which is a shame.
Hogan's Heroes, that show about sandwiches.
Yeah, is Saved by the Bell a phrase because of the show, or was that a show first?
I think the phrase existed first.
Okay, Saved by the Bell. What does that even mean? Like,
I don't know.
Like, you and I have never said that phrase without referencing the show in our life. I
think it means. My understanding is that it means that something happened at a very convenient time.
Yeah.
To prevent something bad from happening.
Right.
But sure. I don't know.
Like Quasimodo.
Yes.
He was saved by the bell.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is such a weird. There's so many weird scraps and pieces in our brains and things that they don't mean anything, but they've been given meaning by like shit like that.
Yeah. 2.5 Men.
That actually, that's a bad. Yeah, what was it? A girl, a guy in a pizza shop.
Two guys, a girl, and a pizza place.
Sure.
And then they just shortened it to 2 guys and a girl, which is like.
Did they sell the pizza place?
I don't know, but
didn't really factor in, I guess, huh?
I guess what's the most like broad show title? I have an idea for one.
My Three Sons.
Friends.
Shit. Yeah, Friends is better. I mean, yeah, like
I can't imagine any like.
Yeah, I was gonna say like The Office, but I think Friends is broader than that. Friends.
The Office is pretty good, although it's just
Community.
It's The Office, not an
You're
Office.
Right. Dang it, that's really good. Yeah, Friends.
Like, it's nothing.
It means
it's
nothing.
Just a word,
which is yeah, I think you got me beat because everything else I'm thinking of is like not. You can't beat it.
Girls is close.
Yeah,
but it's a little exclusionary.
What's the most specific title you can think of?
Oh wow!
Like 2 guys that grow in a pizza place is like
that's
really up there, right? That's pretty darn specific.
I mean, Seinfeld.
Just like
this man,
Jerry the Man Seinfeld,
or I mean any of Roseanne.
Sure, everybody hates Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond. Everybody hates Chris.
That's true. I always get those 2 guys confused.
Well, I think Seinfeld is more specific though because it's his last name.
Yeah,
there are plenty of Raymonds and plenty of Roseannes.
I mean, like don't trust the B word in Room 23 or whatever. Like,
is
that the official title of that? I think it's bad to have a curse word in your title and then you bleep the curse word out.
Shit my dad says.
Shit my dad says. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show, an old police show. It was something called like Car 27. Where are you? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I just thought of another pretty broad title.
Okay.
Taxi.
Chips. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, TV shows are stupid.
Yeah. The only thing that should be on TV is commercials.
What would be the purpose of watch? Would it be mandatory? Like you had to watch like an hour of TV every day?
Yeah, you couldn't get like your food rations or something without watching like an hour of ads.
Right. And like depending how old you were, that's like the hour you had to watch. Like kids.
Oh, you couldn't do it at your leisure.
Right, exactly. Because like what you're marketing towards parents is not what you're marketing towards kids.
Right.
And so to be the most efficient, from 7:30 until 9:30 in the morning is kid programming. In other words, kid commercials,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We're not far off from that.
I think I have the most specific show title.
All right, hit me.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I didn't even think about that. When you start getting into that
It's
realm,
like,
it opens up a million of
this
them.
is it.
Yeah. And that's a good example of the kind of show that like we don't bat an eye at when we hear the title because it's been part of our life for so long. But then when you think about it, you're like, what the fuck were they thinking? Especially like I think it was based on a comic that was kind of like a satirical comic. Maybe
It was pretty dark, but yeah, it was a little like,
it was supposed to be over the top, and at least in that way. And so to make it into a TV show where it was like
it was just sincere, like
like a kid, like when I was 5, I didn't hear Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and think that's silly.
No, it was like
I was like, this is radical. This is
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, I guess it is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, it really doesn't get more specific or strange than that. And how could you ever imitate it?
Even the imitations were not specific enough in the title. Street Sharks, that could be anything.
Well, I mean, Biker Mice from Mars is pretty specific.
Not as specific.
You're right. We don't know their ages.
Or their skill set.
That's true, yeah. You can be an accountant and still be a biker. It's not like they're bringing anything to the table. They just all love Foghat. There's nothing, there's no other linking. Were there other shows like that when, like, as kids that we just took for granted? Like, nothing to that degree, I have to imagine. I mean,
no.
It's all just like nonsense, like kablam, just like nonsense words.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's the one where it's like
creepy crawlers.
It's also so long. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. I mean, even the abbreviation is unwieldy. Like TMNT. Like, that's nothing.
Hold on.
Okay.
YTMNTND.
You're the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle now, dog? It's so stupid. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
We're not far off from that just being a show, right? Just 20 minutes of looping GIFs and videos and shit, right? For kids.
I was very into YTMND.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Why not?
Which is so strange because it's nothing.
Was that part of the appeal? Was like it was nothing, and so it was everything. You know what I mean? Like to us, it was like almost like a weird counter culture kind of thing. Like,
yes, we definitely were part of the counterculture
by watching YTMND. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. We were just trying to like hold on to anything that was like interesting or cool or our lives are a wasteland.
A teenage wasteland.
I think you mean our lives were Bob O'Reilly's.
Smell you later. Have you ever known anyone to use the little nub to...
No. Like, what a crazy... Yeah, no.
Me neither. But, like, this relatively new computer still, like, has it, and I don't understand.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.